This is question 45. Okay, so the group frequency table shows information about the weekly wages of 80 factory workers. Now, I've encouraged you all to circle that value. It's useful as you go through. We have a frequency table here, and it says on the graph, draw a cumulative frequency table for your table, a cumulative frequency graph for your table. Okay, so this is a cumulative frequency question. You're very likely to get this in the non-calculator paper. As we can see from this question, that's 7 marks worth. So they're always big mark questions. Take your time as you're doing them. Make sure you have a really good understanding and you get all the marks in this. So let's go through this. In order to draw the cumulative frequency graph, first thing you need to register is CU. CU means curve and upper, right? So you're going to draw a curve and you need to use the upper values when you plot them. Okay. You also need to actually suss out CU, reminds you to do the cumulative frequency. Cumulative frequency, CU. All right. How do we get the cumulative frequency? Well, we have to add up all the values as we go along. So 8 add 15 is 23. 23 add 30 is 53. 53 add 17, so 53 add 7 is 60, add another 10, 70. 70 add 7 is 77, and 77 add 3 is 80. Okay, so I've got my values there. 80 is good because I know that 80 factory workers altogether. That there tells me that the frequencies as well add up to 80. Well, I could have written that in straight away, so that's good. I know that. Now I need to plot my points. And remember, you're plotting the cumulative frequency against the upper values. Okay, so I need to go first to 200. Okay, and then go up to 8. Check the scale out. The scale, that's 10 there. Every tiny square, there are 10 of them. So every tiny square stands for 1. So if I was going up to 8, I'd plot that value. Go along to 300 now, and then I need to go up to 20. And then 3, so there it is. Then for 400, I need to go to 53, so 400, go up to 50, and then 3 above that. 500 needs to go to 70, so 500, go all the way up to 70. There we have it. Then 600. Use your ruler to help you line these up. It is very important that you draw your graph accurately. So 600, I said it was going to be 77, and 700 is going to be up to 80. So there are my points. Use a pencil when you're doing this, and take your time to draw a curve freehand. Right? So there's my curve. Make sure you draw the curve freehand. All right? Take your time as you're drawing it. Don't use a pen. If you make a mistake, you wouldn't be able to rub it off. Use a pencil as you're doing this. Okay, so that's our curve. We picked up 2 marks for that. Use your graph to estimate the median weekly wage. Now, you should really know exactly what to do. There are 80 values altogether. Your graph goes up to 80. Half of that, 80 divided by 2 is 40. So I need to go across from 40 to my graph and then down and pick up that value down there. Now that value down there, you need to read the graph. That's 300, that's 400. There are 10 tiny squares between them. If I count it, I'm getting 360, and that's what my median value is going to be. So take your time, make sure you fully understand how to work out the median, all right, from a cumulative frequency graph. Part C, use your graph to estimate the interquartile range. Once you see the word interquart or the word interquartile range, you should think upper quartile, take away lower quartile. Always write this down. Always write down upper quartile, take away lower quartile. Now to find the lower quartile, if half the value I used for the median, half 40 is 20. So I'm going to go across from 20 and down, pick up that value, and I reckon that value is 290. Add these 2 values, so 20 plus 40, that tells me where I have to start to go for the upper quartile. 20 plus 40 is 60, so I'm going to go across from 60. Go across from 60, down, and pick up what that value is, and I make that to be 430. So my upper quartile is 430, my lower quartile is 290. As I said to you before, take your time doing the subtraction. This is going to work out to be, I believe, 140, and that's my answer. 140 pounds is an estimate of the interquartile range. All right, make sure you're really switched on with this, and you can work out the median and the interquartile range from a cumulative frequency graph. Very regularly asked, you should know it very well. Part D, use a graph to find an estimate of the number of workers with a weekly wage more than 530. Okay, 530 pounds. So I need to go to my graph and find where 530 pounds is. So that's on the x-axis, or the horizontal axis. Find the 530, and I'm going to draw a line, this blue line now, up to my curve and across, and I read that to be 72. Now a lot of people just write 72 in their answer, but remember the question says how many people got more than 550. I need to work out the size of this gap. That's the number of people who got paid more than 530 pounds. So it's the size of that gap. In other words, 80 take away 72. 80 take away 72 is 8. That is my answer to part D. As I said to you earlier, there's 7 marks for this question. And as you can see, a lot of it is really straightforward. There's not a great deal of number work in here. There's a lot where you need to be precise with the graph, follow clear instructions of drawing the graph with a pencil, use a curve as you're drawing it, right? So that's what CEU constantly reminds you of, curve, and use the upper values. Those are the 2 most common mistakes people make in a cumulative frequency question. Make sure you're totally clear about finding the median value and totally clear about how you work out the interquartile range. Do look at this video a couple of times in order to make sure you have a secure understanding of this and to get full marks in it.